Some people are hearing static or a little buzzing or echo, but hopefully you'll get the gist of what's happening. I really hope so. So today more than ever, I want to say for our practice, please take care of yourselves. There's so much emotionality, and we're all holding so much. We're feeling really deep effects of the trauma that's going on in Israel and Gaza. Maybe here at home too, and in addition to the rest of our lives. So it's wonderful that we can be here and kind of land in our bodies and in practice. It's amazing that you showed up. And also, you may find that you need extra care than usual, so please give it to yourself at any time, okay? We'll do a few minutes of warm-up, and then I want to share some words, and then we'll continue to practice till 1:15, and then have time for Q&A. I'm Cantor Lizzie Shammash, and I'm happy to be here with you. I forgot to say my name. Today is Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan. It's the first day of the month of Cheshvan, and so we turn to a new month, and it is also day 10 of Israel being at war. So I want to mark both those things, name them. We're going to begin on the back. So come to lie down on your back. Our practice can really help to stabilize us, can help to stabilize the mind and the emotions and the heart. It's not a cure-all, but that's why it's called practice. We come back again and again. And so my hope today is that we can find for ourselves maybe even a modicum of stability. So as you lie on your back, first thing, extend the arms to the extent that you're able, and also the legs, and just take a big stretch. It can be in parallel, arms and legs, or it can be wide, more like a starfish stretch. See what's right in your body. Maybe it's a little wormy wiggle. Just allow the back body a little support and rest as it meets the floor. And then let's draw the right knee in toward the chest. Left knee can be bent and foot on the floor, or left leg can be long. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, draw the belly to the spine, knit the ribs, and allow that core strength to be the mover as you draw forehead toward the knee and curl up. So let it come from the abdominal core. Let the shoulder blades and collarbones and elbows widen. Neck easy, head easy, and then we release back down. Inhale. And exhale, release the right knee. And let's bring the left knee in. And again, right knee can be bent or right leg can be long. You choose. Inhale here deeply. Widen the back, widen the ribs. And as you exhale, again, let it come from navel to spine. Knit the ribs. Lengthen the spine as you make a nice C curve and bring forehead toward the knee. Widen the elbows. Super easy in the neck and the jaw. And then come on back down. Good. Bend both knees, bring them up, shins parallel to the floor. Arms extended up toward the ceiling, palms facing away from you. And we're just going to start with the legs. Right toes dipping down and then left toes dipping down. Again, engaging the core, neutral spine, right? So the lower back is not pressed into the floor. We're retaining the curve. Nice knitting in toward each other of the ribs, and just tap, alternating right and left. And if you want a little more heat, you let the toes come further from the body. If you want less, toes are coming closer to the body. body. And then begin to add the arms so that the arm is going opposite to the knee. Come down and then back up. So we inhale as right arm and left knee, come down, and then exhale, come back to center. Inhale, switch, and exhale, come back to center like so. Let it continue in your own breath. And then you can even go a little more fluidly back and forth. I think it's harder to do one at a time. And come back to center. Letting some heat build in the core. And then release that. With the legs remaining where they are, take the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers and extend the thumbs down so that you can give a little massage to the neck where the bony part of the skull meets the softness. Give a little massage and pull the head away from the neck, shoulders. Give some length, draw it away. And then inhale here. And exhale with the elbows really nice and wide. Curl up just so gently, just a little bit generously, and find the full length of the spine. Right? So we're not just coming up, but we're really feeling that C curve and length from tailbone all the way to the top of the spine as we just make a little curl. Elbows are not coming in, elbows are staying wide. And then lower down and lengthen. Good. So you can stay here and do a little movement as I share some words, or if you'd like to come up to sitting, please go ahead and do so. And again, as I said, really take care of yourself, even extra in this time. So I come to this Torah portion. We're on Parshat Noach today, the second week of beginning back again the book of Bereshit, a little bit scared of its relationship to this moment because, of course, everyone was so corrupt that God destroys the earth and says, let's do a do-over. I don't know. I have no more words beyond that. God says in the beginning of the portion, I've decided to put an end to all flesh, for the earth is filled with lawlessness. Because of them, I'm about to destroy them with the earth. And later, in the next chapter, all existence on earth was blotted out. Only Noach was left, and those with him in the ark. And remember, the Torah specifically says that Noach was tzaddik, b'dorotav, right? Righteous for his generation. It kind of qualifies his righteousness as not the most perfect person ever, but within his generation, one who stood out. I want to share some words from Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks of blessed memory. This is a book, you can't see maybe this far, but it's called Studies in Spirituality. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks was such a brilliant man, passed away in November of 2020, and this is a book with a few words on each parsha, and I'm constantly blown away by him, so I want to share what he said. It's entitled, this little piece is entitled, The Courage to Live with Uncertainty. And he's sharing with us a teaching that came from his own teacher, Rabbi Dr. Nachum Rabinovich. This is a midrash from a very obscure source. It was printed in a book called Buber's Tanchuma, which was published in 1885 by Martin Buber's grandfather, but it came from ancient manuscripts, some say as early as the 5th century, and the midrash text is known as Midrash Yilamdenu. So this midrash is obscure, not very well known, and I want to share it with you as he shares it here. The text is in two parts. It's a commentary on God's words to Noach, simply come out of the ark, right? Chapter 8, verse 16, when he tells Noach, come out of the ark with all your family. So this is the Midrash. Noah said to himself, since I only entered the ark with permission from God, shall I leave without permission? Like, don't I need permission to come out? The Holy One, blessed be He, said to him, are you looking for permission? In that case, I give you permission. Come out of the ark. And then the Midrash adds, said Rabbi Judah bar Eli, if I had been there, I would have smashed down the doors of the ark and taken myself out of it. So the moral that Rabbi Sachs's teacher, was drawing here, he says, indeed, the only one possible was that when it comes to rebuilding a shattered world, you do not wait for permission. God gives us permission. He expects us to go on ahead. I'll read that again. The moral from this Midrash is when that it comes to rebuilding a shattered world, you do not wait for permission. God gives us permission. He expects us, God expects us to go on ahead. Rabbi Sachs goes on to say, suddenly I understood that this is a significant part of what faith is in Judaism. To have the courage to pioneer, to do something new, to take the road less traveled, to venture out into the unknown. That is what Abraham and Sarah did, what Moses did, etc. And then he says, faith is precisely the courage to take a risk, knowing that though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you are with me. And he says, in many cases, such is the fate of innovators, the people concerned with innovating, right, had to face a barrage of criticism, disdain, opposition, or disregard. You have to be prepared to be lonely, at best misunderstood, at worst vilified and defamed. And he talks about Einstein saying, if my theory of relativity is proven successful, Germany will claim me as a German, France will declare me a citizen of the world. Should my theory prove untrue, France will say that I'm a German, and Germany will declare that I'm a Jew. To be a pioneer, as Jews know from our history, you have to be prepared to spend a long time in the wilderness. That was the faith of the early Zionists. So he's talking about faith, and he's talking about repairing our shattered world by coming out of the ark. And I want to, as we're hearing so many stories out of Israel from all the areas near the Gaza border, I want to share 3 stories of beauty, of triumph, of faith, and of courage. And maybe you've also read these same stories and many, many more, but I think it's important to bring these people, everyone, into our nervous system. Rachel and David Edry in Ofakim. The terrorists spent 15 hours until early Sunday morning in the home of Rachel and David Edry, a couple in their 70s. During that time, Rachel Edry, who was born in what was now Iran, served the terrorists treats and joked with them in rudimentary Arabic and even sang to them something that they knew from the radio and she also knew. This semblance of hospitality may have saved the couple's lives. Rachel and David Edry. Inbal Rabin Lieberman, age 25, and she's the security coordinator of Kibbutz Nir Am. Her response was so swift and against what was coming from the IDF to say, like, hang on, be at the ready. No, she got everybody out with all the guns, got the ammunitions ready. Because of her swift response, she entirely helped to save the kibbutz from being infiltrated at all by Hamas terrorists. No one from Nir Am was killed. That's Inbal Rabin Lieberman. And thirdly, Moshe and Diana Rosen, an elderly couple who were together over 50 years from Kibbutz near Yitzchak, which was infiltrated. They were injured by gunfire, I think on their hands, I believe. They were dragged by 5 terrorists across the boundary, and then they declared they weren't going to go any further. So with risk of being shot in the back, with total fear, they said, we're not going. Their captors eventually said, fine, turn back. They did. They're safe. They're being treated at Hadassah Hospital on Mount Scopus, but their home is gone. So to the Edries, to Imbai Rabbi Lieberman, to Moshe and Diana Rosen, the faith to come out of the ark. Let's practice. Let's open the body a little bit. And at the end of class, I want to share a prayer for those in captivity and those who are still missing. Okay. Let's come to a low lunge, bringing the right foot forward. You can place a blanket under the left knee if you'd like some support. You don't want to be down too much into the kneecap. Just see that the knee is not coming past the ankle on the right side. And just allow the hips to sink, to pulse a little forward and back. You can have hands to the floor or to blocks or to your thigh. And then come on up, lengthen the tailbone, feel some width, expanse across the low back. You can even press that left shin to the floor and fire up the left thigh. Feel sensation build through left thigh, left hip flexor. Inhale the left arm up, make a lot of length for both sides of the torso, and we're going to come to a twist. So the twist can be here, the twist can simply be here, upright. See what you need, right? If you have that left arm up, you're going to wrap it to the outside of the right knee, perhaps, maybe coming to prayer, possibly extending left hand toward the floor. See what you need to find this twist that's coming from length, right? And then you can play with how much the hips can sink forward here. And then release. And we're just going to simply switch sides. Left foot coming forward, pulsating the hips. A little bit back and forth, slow, smooth, steady breaths. And then come on up. Find that length for the tailbone, width for the low back. Again, knit the ribs, draw the navel to the spine. And we're going to take the twist. Inhale the right arm up. And then wrap the elbow to outside the left knee or up tall. See where you want to be. Find this twist. We're early in movement here. Don't push it too far. We're just finding an easy movement. Permission for courage. Okay. So, right foot forward. I'm going to end up facing away from you in a moment, but don't worry. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. And from here we're going to lift it up to a high lunge. You can start with hands to the hips. You can stay with hands to the hips if you like. You can kind of make it an easy lunge. You can see what you need for distance with the legs, both front to back and also width on your mat. You can hold on to something if you'd like some support. If you'd like, extend that back heel back a little further, extend the arms up. Right, so find your expression of the pose. We're all different and we're all in different moments with our own bodies. So you want to see how extended and open and active or just how gentle you want to be with yourself. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, open it out to warrior two. And again, it can be just a baby bend for the knee. It can be a little deeper. See what you need. Gazing over those right fingertips, and then turn the palm to face up, the right palm. Inhale, lift up and back, and then exhale, we're going to take forearm to thigh, and left arm up and over. So This is good. You get the view from the back, and then the other side will get the view from the front. So it gives you a little bit of guidance, should this be helpful. And then swing it around, touch down, and in any way you like, switch it out. Left foot coming forward. It might be a vinyasa, it might just be a straight up switch. Tuck those back toes and lift it up toward a high lunge. Maybe pausing with hands at the hips. See where you want to be. See where the gaze wants to be. Slow, smooth, steady breaths. Inhale deeply. And then as you exhale, open it out, warrior two. Turn the left palm to face up. Inhale and lift up. Lift up through the side ribs and exhale, forearm to thigh and perhaps top arm over. And just easy forms here. And then come on up to center. Turn both toes to face forward, or even toes pointing in a little bit. We'll take a wide leg forward fold. So the hands might come to a chair or to blocks or to the floor, depending on your hamstrings. Inhale, lift the heart up, and exhale, fold forward, long spine. Hands down. You might stay here, you might come into a fuller fold with the head toward the floor, you decide. And then inhale and come on up. Lift the heart up. Exhale, back to center. Heel toe, the feet together. Let's just take a pause. One hand to the belly and one hand to the heart space. Eyes open or closed, and just check in this moment I'm feeling. Just seeing what's there. You don't have to think hard on it. Where do you have sensation, emotion? And in this moment, I need. What are you needing? Just to check in to see how can you nurture yourself, how can you take care of yourself through class. So we're working on a little bit of back bending. When you're ready, you can release your hands. And we're going to come to the floor, belly down, prone, to do a little bit of back bending. Back bending is an opening of the heart that really forms the basis of faith and courage. And so that's what I wanted to make in a connection between the text, the midrash, and our movement today. The courage to come out of the ark into a shattered world. So, we'll start with a low cobra. First from the forehead to the floor, you can move the head a little side to side. The tops of the feet are against the floor. Feel an extension through the ankles, the tops of the feet, the toes. And just allow the front body to rest, feel the belly on the inhale, move against the floor. And on the exhale, back toward the body. Okay, feet can be together, ankles together. Feet can be more like hip width apart. Just feel what's better for you, and in particular for your low back. place the palms to the floor with the fingertips facing forward next to the chest. Draw the elbows in to hug the rib cage. Lengthen through the tailbone, draw the belly in, lift the ribs just like we did in the beginning of class. Inhale, lengthen the forehead, the crown of the head forward, and just lift up just a little bit. So just a baby cobra. We're widening the collarbones. We're drawing the shoulder blades down the back, right? So that the shoulders are not up by the ears, but there's really a lot of space from the ears to the shoulders. Lengthen and lift. Right, so we're working the erectors, the muscles on either side of the spine. Compress into the tops of the feet or lengthen through the toes. And then exhale, come down. Let's do this on the breath a few times. So inhale, lengthen, engage, come up, and exhale, lower down. Putting it all together. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower down. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Next inhale, we're going to come up. We're going to slide the arms forward for a Sphinx pose. Right? So if you want just a little bit, elbows are further out in front. If you want a little more backward extension, you're going to draw the elbows in closer, perhaps elbows directly under shoulders. The forearms parallel, the fingers spread. And feel that you can kind of scrub those forearms, the elbows back in space and drag the heart forward. Nothing's really moving, but that's the feeling of the directions. Bring your mind's attention to the tailbone. And walk your way in your mind's eye all the way up the spine, feeling that you have space, vertebra to vertebra, all the way up. You can take the gaze over each shoulder, right to left. Good. And then come back and lower down. Good. And now we're moving to a cobra again, potentially coming up a little bit higher. So hands can be by the chest, or you can decide they can come a little forward, or they can be at the corners of the mat. Draw the knee in. You're going to inhale, press into the hands and come up. Sometimes I like to take cobra this way with my hands at the corner edges of the mat and the fingertips pointing out a little bit to the sides. Draw the elbows in. Just helps me get a little purchase, if you will, for this back bend. And then you can always start to move it back. So especially for those of us for whom backward bending is a little challenging, give yourself the support that you need. Widen the chest. And feel the length evenly, back body and front body. And play with this a little bit. See what you've got. And when you're done, when you're ready, exhale. Come on down. Bend the knees. And just a little bit inch your right side to side. And so feet are coming down too far. Just a little bit side to side to give some ease to the lower back. We're going to do one more backward bending. I'm going to look at locust for a moment. So take the arms long by your sides. Some people like the palms to face up or the palms to face in. You decide what works for you. In this one, feet together, ankles together. As we inhale, let's extend legs long like somebody's pulling on your toes, lifting them, as well as the forehead and the fingertips extending back. So whole body. A couple breaths here. And then lower down. We'll take it 2 more times. So extend from toes, crown of the head, inhale, extend, and we lift up. Some people like to call this Superman pose. And exhale, lower down. Good. Navel to spine, protect the low back. Last time, inhale, come up. It can just be the tiniest bit, like right here. Or maybe you're coming up a little bit more. You decide. No pain, no strain. And then lower it down. This time, take the hands and make a pillow for your head by stacking the backs of the hands. And then with the feet together, bend the knees and just make little circles with the feet in the air, like painting a circle on the ceiling. Again, to just ease the lower back, one direction, and then the other direction. Good. And then pause there. Bring the feet down. And just take a moment as we're here in this prone position. So very sort of safe, contained position. Just feel the belly move against the floor with the inhale and exhale. And feel the safety of this connection to the earth. Your full body just resting. And as you're ready, you're going to come onto your back. You can just flip it over. And bend the knees, let the soles of the feet be on the floor, and take the hands to the low belly or to the low ribs. And over here, just let the knees go side to side a little bit. A little waving of the knees side to side. Okay, then we're going to extend the right leg up toward the ceiling. So knee can be bent or leg can be straight. Clasp the hands behind that right thigh. We're not so much doing a hamstring stretch here as just stabilizing the low back. So feel that the thigh, the whole femur bone, the whole leg is pressing into the clasped hands. So like the belly of the hamstrings really press to the hands. Want to make some space for the low belly, some length for the low spine. Neck and head easy. And so not so much a hamstring stretch, it's a back stabilizer. And then release, same thing with the left. Clasp hands, let that thigh really release away from the body into the hands. Thigh bone away. A little bit of hollowing for the abdominal region. Good. And then let's come back to that pose we had at the beginning of class with the knees bent and the shins parallel to the floor. This time, palms extended and facing down. And once again, tap right and left, back and forth. Feel that core strength holding you. Right? And so again, maintaining that that neutral spine, the natural curves, although if it's painful to your low back, you can take your hands and bring them under your low back and have a little more of belly pressed to floor, low back pressed to floor, right? So this would be the most stable position if you're feeling anything in the low back. Good. And then once again, bring the hands up, and we'll take opposite leg, opposite arm. On the inhale, down, and then exhale, come back to center, and then switch. Go back and forth, just finding that firing up of the center. Also part of faith and courage, right? Really a connection to the center of the body. Good, and then complete that in just a very gentle hug of the knees in. Just a momentary thing. And then we're going to end with a twist. So knees in toward the body, arms are out at shoulder height. Inhale here, and exhale the knees over to the right. And we'll stay here a moment. Left shoulder grounded. Good, so we did a lot to strengthen the core and lengthen the core, and now let's just even it out, balance out our practice with a twist. We started with one, we end with one. And then inhale as you're ready, coming through center, and you can exhale those knees over to the left. Again, arms out in a T to counterbalance, or you can take the left hand to the top of the right knee as the knees are coming down. Really ground and open that right upper chest, shoulder. Few breaths here. And then when you're ready, coming back to center and taking stillness, finding rest. So it could be constructive rest. It could be lower legs to the chair or legs up the wall. It could be traditional Shavasana with the legs long and palms facing up. Just decide what you need. It can be so hard to be still, but the body needs a few moments of stillness each day. So finding your stillness, let be. There's nowhere you need to go and nothing you need to do. Just pause. And as you're ready, begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And slowly, slowly make your way to seated. Take your time. I want to close with singing and praying of Achenu Kol B'nai Israel. Achenu ve'achiotenu, our brothers and our sisters, the whole house of Israel. And Jet will share the words in Hebrew and transliteration and the translation. And you can feel free to sing with me or just listen. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, Achenu kol beit Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. המקום ירחם, ירחם עליהם, ויוציאם מצרה, דירה ולאפלה והרה, ושירו לגמולה, השתם בגלה, ובזמן נכרים, As for our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel, who are given over to trouble or to captivity, whether they be on sea or on the dry land, may the all-present one have mercy upon them and bring them forth from trouble to enlargement, from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now, speedily, and in our time. Amen. Thank you all for practicing today. Every drop of practice counts for you, for your family, your community, for all of Am Yisrael, and for all the world. Thank you. Thank you.